My 31F husband's 34M new best friend at work used to be my FWB and I have no idea what to do. My husband recently started a new job after being laid off for about 6 months. He usually is a pretty introverted person and his old job was fully remote, so he struggled to find many friends. His new job has a flexi policy where he goes in 2 days a week and works from home the rest. Anyway, at work he met a guy that worked in a different team and they basically hit it off. They get lunch together, play pool, yes, he works in tech, and basically have a full-on bromance. I was initially so happy for him. His friend is single, so usually I wasn't invited to their drinks, but last night I was finally invited to hang out and I was excited to meet his new friend. When I got there I realized that his new friend was a guy I used to have a FWB situation with in college. I don't remember how it ended, but we haven't talked in years. I could tell that the guy also remembered me. Needless to say, I'm totally unsure what to do. I've been married for 4 years and together for 9, and we have a really honest and transparent relationship, but this feels like the type of thing that could put a major strain on our relationship and cause my husband a huge amount of pain. I'm afraid if I don't say anything it might come out with his friend, but I also don't want to go behind my husband's back to talk with the friend and make it look shady. However, I'm scared if I say something, not only will I hurt our relationship but also ruin my husband's now closest friend. What is the right way to handle this? If you were my husband, what level of detail would you want to know, if any? Do you think it's likely that the guy says something to my husband? TLDR, my husband's new best friend at work used to be my FWB and I have no idea what to do. Edit. Several people have asked in messages. Yes, the guy is on paper quite attractive, but no, I have zero interest in him whatsoever. I love my husband and looks are only one part of attraction. Comment. You absolutely have to tell him, and you have to tell him before his friend does. Time for honesty. I wouldn't want to know levels of detail. If it was my wife, I'd want her to tell me the barest of minimums, but I would need to know ASAP so I could decide how I wanted to process the issue. I agree. Husband needs to know so as to understand where he stands and navigate his day-to-day activity with his new friend. He shouldn't be left in the dark while the friend is allowed to reminisce. More so, wife is in his personal life. The way I see it, his personal life is an opened book to FWBRN. Not telling him is basically stabbing him in the back at the moment. Yes. Just imagine being in his shoes if you didn't tell him. Say all three y'all get along great. This goes on for months. He's laughing at her jokes, vice versa. Then one day she's like, "It's so cool that you're so chill with everything." Wouldn't you feel like the butt end of the world's worst joke? This is it. As this commenter and others have said, I would make it clear that you and the person were friends and saw each other casually but were not romantically involved. I think it would help to point out that there was never any romantic involvement and it was a very long time ago. Make clear that you drifted out of contact and became different people who wanted different things. You basically forgot about him until you met him when your husband introduced you. He may initially be upset to learn that you slept with him, but I would not lie or cover up that fact because it would look much worse to lie. But as others have said, do not go into any detail even if he asks. Excessive detail will only hurt. He doesn't need to know how many times it was, or what kind of sex you had, etc. Next story 2. My 37F partner 36M wants a paternity test and I'm devastated. I 37 just had a beautiful daughter with my partner 36M, last Tuesday. She is perfect and we absolutely adore her. My partner is so happy and was very supportive during pregnancy and labor. Everything was perfect, or so I thought. We have only been together for 18 months and things moved quickly for us. We started living together after only 3 months and have been inseparable since. Even working in the same factory together until I went on maternity leave. My partner and I are both recovering addicts. I have 3 years and he has 2.5 years sober. We have completely turned our lives around and have the life I never thought possible. There has never been cheating on either side, but yes, there can be some jealousy issues. Now that you have some history, here is the problem. We came home from the hospital Friday and I was exhausted, so he took the baby while I slept. When I wake up he says, "You know I love you, right?" I immediately get worried that he says he wants a DNA test because he counted the days, and when I got pregnant he was in jail. He is still on probation and was driving without a license. This is not true. I got pregnant 2 months after he got home, and the cherry on top is we were actively trying to have a baby. I'm absolutely devastated and automatically felt different about him. I was tired and emotional, so I just cried. He is saying he doesn't trust me and I am angry now. We went yesterday to take the test and he paid $200. I'm not working and that's money we need. Our baby has jet black hair and he has blonde hair, blue eyes. Mine is dirty blonde. He says he just wants to be sure and has issues because of past relationships. I feel lost and unsure if I will ever feel the same about him. I don't have anyone to talk to about this because I am embarrassed, so I came here. Thank you for any advice. Sorry so long. Update. So the results are in and you are the father. LOL, sorry, couldn't resist. Obviously I'm not surprised and it felt really good to be right. We found out right before he was going to work and planned to talk about it this weekend. After he left he called and said, "Please marry me. This is something we have wanted to do but didn't have the money for. I do want to marry him and spend the rest of our lives together." Posting on here really let me look at the situation from so many angles. Most PPL said therapy or leave him, but there were a lot of great and helpful comments in there. Thank you everyone, I am grateful for all the advice. I have decided to move past this because he never treated me and my daughter any differently. He has provided everything we need. This is the first real issue we have had. I do believe that DNA test should be standard, then no one has to get their feelings hurt. He says he trusts me, and other than this his actions have shown that, and I could see it was very hard for him to ask when he could have done it without me knowing. Relationships take work and understanding. We still have a lot to work on and I lost trust in him over this. Now if this sort of behavior continues then that's a whole other story. So THX again, and if anyone has any questions I will answer. Comment. So your boyfriend accused you of cheating on him, but it's fine because the baby is his, and now you're fine with just marrying him after he accused you of being a cheater. Yeah, this is going to end real well. What are you going to do the next time he accuses you of cheating? From a man's point of view I get asking for a paternity test. I am adopted and look eerily close to my adopted dad in looks, even though we aren't biologically related, and my adopted mom did question on more than one occasion if he did anything with her sister who is my bio mom. We have the positive paternity test showing I'm not my adopted dad's child courtesy of the bio dad. Women know for an absolute fact that they are the mother. Men on the other hand don't get that luxury, and while the guy is out of pocket and displaying jealousy quite plainly, I do partly understand his line of thinking even if I don't think he is in the wrong. Mother ID the child so each at the wedding. Hey kid. So funny story. Your dad thought I cheated on him and that you weren't his. We had TO.do a paternity test and after it turned out you were his, he asked me to marry him. May your spouse treat you with as much respect, trust, and love that your father has treated me. Anyway, good luck. It would not even be just for the father himself. Let's also think about the psychological consequences the child, also father and both families, would have by discovering randomly that there has been such a huge betrayal for so many years, example through family tree DNA test kits, future medical exams or whatever, as well as possible genetic pathologies that could go unnoticed. Totally disagree. It's incredibly insulting when a woman is bearing your baby to accuse her of cheating. Terrible start to a parenting journey. If a dad is afraid a kid is not his, it's easy for him to do a paternity test. But it's definitely never anything that should be normalized. And non-paternity rates are low.